tunataka tu tukutume kama serikali na kama mtu ya mkono ya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta. 2022 tunataka kuambia pia His Excellency the President I retire honorably.
President Uhuru is young, is going nowhere. But Uhuru has not attained his retirement age. Where is he going to go?
Ilikuwa ni kuhakikisha kwamba Rais Uhuru Kenyatta asistaafu, aendelee kwa uongozi kwa miaka mingi zijazo.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, viewer. I hope you are fine wherever you are. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George. It is obvious that Uhuru Kenyatta is not going anywhere, but will play a role in the coming government, especially if that government will be formed by Raila Amolo Odinga under Azimio. What role do you think Uhuru Kenyatta should play in the coming government? If you are watching this program for the first time, kindly subscribe so that we grow our membership. We will highly appreciate. I wish to thank all our subscribers and viewers for their continued support. What role do you think Uhuru Kenyatta should play in the coming government?
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
In the US, you'll find presidents basically line up when there's an event, and you'll find presidents actually lining up, like inauguration of Biden. Only Donald Trump did not appear. But of course, the other presidents appeared in the inaugurations, the presidents who are alive. You know, I think Obama was there. I think Bush was there. I think Mrs. Clinton and Bill Clinton were there. You know, look at it like that. Look at it like those people don't go out of circulation. Those people remain and participate and play a certain role in the country. When we talk about roles in this country that former presidents should play, it's a crucial thing that we really need to think about, and maybe at some point review the Constitution with a view of basically having a role for former presidents. I can tell you for sure, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi had a lot of information or advice that he would have given the Kibaki regime. I don't know if privately it was done so, but I know for sure that his contribution would have helped Kibaki manage his terms. Similarly, Kibaki himself, when he retired, I'm sure he had a lot of things that he would have possibly handed over or maybe advised the Jubilee government. So what role do you think Uhuru Kenyatta should have in the coming government, if at all? When you talk about roles, you need to look at what is ailing Kenya today. What is it that was there during independence and still persists until today that basically is not enabling us to be able to meet our aspirations as a nation? When you hear the Azimio candidate, and ideally even the Kenya Kwanza candidate, William Samoei Ruto, they normally narrow down on the economy. They talk about poverty. Like the other day, William Samoei Ruto talked about everybody being a member, a contributing member of Fuliza of M-Pesa. That economy bit is an important thing that when Kenya got independence, it was a question of being economically independent. Till today, we've been unable to solve that. So that's an area that a previous president, especially a younger president like Uhuru Kenyatta, with up-to-date knowledge, would play and not pack his bags and head to Gatundu. The other thing that Uhuru Kenyatta could participate in is the question of national unity. That is key, because when you talk about national unity, you are looking at issues regarding corruption. Yes, you are looking at issues regarding corruption, because without solving the issue of corruption, you cannot really have what you call national unity. The key thing in terms of national unity there, you are looking at tribalism. This is a hurdle that we've been unable to solve in this country. The other day you heard Moses Kuria say what he had to say, then responded to by Raila Amolo Odinga. But this is just basically to be able to hide the tribal feeling and anger of some particular people. What is it exactly that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can do in terms of bringing in this national unity and harmony? If you ask me, really, I would tell you, just imagine and think about it. Just imagine if Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was given a 5-year term to be the governor of Kisumu County. I can tell you for sure, within 5 years' time, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will have changed the entire face and economy of Kisumu County if given a chance. That was just the diversion. So what role, however, should Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta play in this country in the coming government? I'm totally opposed to the idea of sending Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with his bags to Gatondo. It's a joke. And that is part of the reason why we always go back as a country, because we don't benefit from the people who have like hindsight, or the people who've been there. Because I'm sure there are some things that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta would like to say or to do differently after doing his 2 terms in office. Well, I had mentioned that the issue of cohesion is such an important thing. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can help a great deal in supporting the next president who will come by having cohesion. And talking of cohesion, this body of the national cohesion should actually be the one to pack and go home. And I'll talk about it another day, because there's nothing they are doing other than earning money in the office. They are wasting time. And in fact, nobody should even suggest, let's not even think that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta should go there and sit in the National Cohesion Office. No. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta should be out, hired by the next government to work in terms of cohesion. For instance, there are a number of people in Mount Kenya area, and let us face it, a number of people with money who cannot invest, and I'll use my pet project, Kisumu County, because of the politics that is there. They have money and they'll rather buy apartments in New York or any other part of the world. And there are Kenyans out there in the diaspora, in California, in many other states, who basically would like to invest outside Nairobi, but are afraid that maybe there's no market, or there's nothing that is happening, or because of the political reasons, they are unable to invest in those counties that basically could support the growth of this country. If Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is, for instance, able, with his friend Raila Amolo Odinga, to take an aircraft to fly to Kisumu, carrying billionaires and investors from Mount Kenya, you hear people talking about, benchmarking. Why do you benchmark? Carry all councillors and go to India. Why don't you carry those MCAs from Kiambu County with some investors and look at the opportunities in Kisumu and invest there? That is a role that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can do very well. Because if there is cohesion, especially this issue of tribalism, if Kikuyus and Luos are able to break that barrier, then I can assure you this country will develop very, very fast. Who tells you, for instance, that only a Luo governor should run the county of Kisumu? Is Kisumu in another country? We really need to think about that, So cohesion is very, very important. After doing 10 years in government, I'm sure Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta appreciates the importance of this country being one and united. And that is a role that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can play. The other role that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can play is the role basically of being an advisor, as an investment advisor to government. He can help in terms of advising on the issue of inflation, on the issues of, I know when I talk about that, a lot of people jump, wow, what advice would Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta give? Yet basically, there's a debt of, don't blame the debt on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta alone. That debt is a joint responsibility, or if there's any blame to be given out, it has to be given in the right proportion. Well, start with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, go down to William Samoei Ruto, go to Raila Amolo Odinga, go to Parliament, and go to Senate. Those people are responsible for the debt all together, and not one person should be isolated and be told that, because for you to have debt or to borrow debt or to have debt in a country, obviously you have to go through Parliament, you have to go through Senate. There is a debt ceiling limit. There has to be justification for that debt. Parliament is paid full time. They work full time on those issues. They get allowances on top of others. They get benchmarking, trips, entertainment, and all this. Free lunches, houses, security. So Parliament cannot run away from that. And please, anybody who is thinking that the debt or the cost of living today is the sole responsibility of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, then you are joking. So Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can advise on the issue of debt in as far as the solutions are concerned. How are we going to get out, reduce this debt to a minimum level, to the level that is manageable? How are we going to reduce the cost of living from what it is now to where Kenyans want it to be? He can also be helpful, very helpful, in terms of continuity and having projects that he has started to continue. The SGR, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wanted to get that SGR down from Mombasa to Busia. Okay? He would advise on the issues and the challenges to the incoming president, the challenges that he's had in terms of getting that railway, at least then until Nakuru today. And that is something that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can do. Like I said, I just wish Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta would be given even just 2 terms to a county. Just imagine 2 terms to a county like, for instance, even Machakos. He will transform that county, and that is a fact. He will transform that county. So, parking Uhuru Kenyatta and telling him to go home or sending him home is basically a joke. It's also the wrong thinking because he is not yet of that age of going home to retire, to rest and do those things. He's a very informed person. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has international connections and he has a very big following in this country. Forget about Mount Kenya, hiyo ni siasa. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is not just your ordinary politician. In fact, Raila Amolo Odinga himself has talked about the same thing. I think he did talk about it in an interview or a speech that he gave in the UK. What role do you think Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta should play in the coming government?